The kings of the earth are gathered to the place called Armageddon. And what's interesting here is that there is no place called Armageddon. That is simply a transliteration of two Hebrew words, Har and Megiddo. Now, Har is the Hebrew word for mountain. Megiddo is, in fact, the name of a place. What's weird is that place, Megiddo, has another name. It's known as the Valley of Jezreel. And if you know anything about topography, you know that mountains and valleys are kinda the opposite. So what is John doing by talking about the mountain of Megiddo? Well, he's cluing us in on how to read this section. Armageddon is not a place on earth you can find on a map. It is a literary device. See, Megiddo had a long and bloody history. In the 15th century BCE, presumably around the time the Hebrews would have been in slavery in Egypt, if you're trying to date that, the Pharaoh Thutmose III fought a massive battle against an alliance of Canaanite tribes at Megiddo. Now, we know about this battle because it is actually the first record we have ever uncovered that included a body count after the war. In fact, those same ancient records say that each army had 10,000 soldiers ready for war. By ancient standards, that is absolutely massive. Now, for the record, when John gets around to describing Armageddon, he says that the kings of the earth bring with them 10,000 times 10,000, as if to say the world has never seen anything like this. But years later, the Hebrew judge Deborah would fight the Canaanites at Megiddo. Gideon fought the Midianites at Megiddo. King Saul was defeated by the Philistines at Megiddo, and in 609 BCE, Pharaoh Necho II went to war with Assyria at Megiddo. Now, the Hebrews ended up getting pulled into that conflict. Necho called for a meeting with King Josiah from Israel to ask permission to move through their lands, but when he got there, he killed the king of Israel. Israel and Judah get involved. Israel's conquered by Assyria. Then Babylon comes through, conquers Assyria, including Israel, and then Judah, leading to the exile. Still, we're not done, because Rome, knowing how unstable this whole area was, they actually set up a standing army at Megiddo called the Legion of the Great Plain. See, even they knew there was no mountain there. But still, we're starting now to get a sense of what John might be doing here. Armageddon isn't a place. The mountain of Megiddo is an image chosen to evoke and expand the memory of war and warfare and death and suffering. Think of it this way. If I were to say to you, evil is about to meet its ground zero, you know exactly what I mean, but you don't imagine I'm actually talking about New York City, right? That's what John is doing with Har Megiddo.